Good afternoon, I am Precious Mzea Sakaleji. Welcome to Camnet TV Midday News. The headlines. The Teaching Service Commission reported to the Anti-Corruption Commission. PEP President TEMBO charges that the police is still unprofessional under the UPND. Join me with the details after this commercial.
Team, the trajectory of the business looks very positive, and it looks like we'll be able to launch the
She has so much data.
Mom?
Yes, baby?
It says here, global warming and climate change is caused by the pollution from careless activities of human beings.
Wow!
Son, do you know I can turn my phone into a TV remote?
How's that possible?
It's so easy. Check this out.
Be smart, be fast with mega data from Zamtel. Get your 15 GB mobile data for only 100 kwacha, 30 GB mobile data for only 200 kwacha, and your 70 GB LTE data bundle with free Netflix, YouTube, Facebook, and WhatsApp. Visit our Facebook page, website, or service centers countrywide for more information. Zamtel, your digital lifestyle partner.
And other media news in detail. The state has described as unnecessary the application for Lusakabased lawyer Namwene Piri, alleged to have attempted to commit suicide and administered the poisonous substance to her son, who died, admitted to a mental health facility because she is already warded at Chanama Hospital. The state has also opposed the application for the High Court to appoint her sister, Ms. Esther Piri Ngambi, as the supporter while she is receiving care at the mental facility. Last month, Ms. Ngambi applied to the High Court to have Ms. Piri admitted to a mental facility, claiming that her sister risks harming herself again.
After an alleged attempt of suicide and an application that she be admitted to a mental health facility because she is already wounded, government described as unnecessary the application for a Lusaka-based lawyer, Namwene Piri, filed before court. On February 15th, Namwene Piri is alleged to have administered poison on a 2-year-old son and later took the said poison as well, but she did survive and was taken ill at Levi Mwanawasa Hospital while under police guard. This left her biological sister, Esther Piri Ngambi, filed an affidavit, or rather an application, before the Lusaka High Court requesting that her sister be admitted to a mental health facility after she allegedly killed her son and attempted suicide. Ms. Ngambi wants an order of the court that her sister be accorded the full privacy, dignity, and confidentiality as to her person, state of health, and her personal information, as she is entitled under the law for the duration that she is admitted to a mental health facility. However, in response to this application that was filed before court last week, the state submits that the court has no authority to order for the patient to be admitted to a mental health facility in the absence of criminal proceedings. According to an opposition to summons for an interim order of appointment to support and an interim order for admission to a mental health facility, State Advocates Chalo Hambai states that Ms. Piri was admitted to the mental health facility in the absence of criminal proceedings, and so far there are no criminal proceedings against her. The state has since urged the court not to grant Ms. Ngambi's application to be the supporter of her sister, Ms. Piri, because there is no documentation that relates to the state of the patient or the nature of the mental illness that has resulted in the absence of the legal capacity of the patient. Miriam Kaimba, reporting for Camnet TV News.
Patriots for Economic Progress leader TEMBO has charged that the Zambia police is still the same under the United Party for National Development, hence the need for serious reforms. Mr. TEMBO believes that the police is just as it was under the Patriotic Front administration by allegedly waiting for instructions in order to act on issues. He says the police must be free from political influence in order to gain the confidence of the people. The opposition leader has since advised President Hakainde to set the tone on which direction he wants the Zambia police to go.
The Zambia Police Service is a body mandated to safeguard life and property, provide security and maintain law and order. However, in the past, the service had fallen short of fulfilling its responsibility. Managing political events, for instance, proved to be a disastrous undertaking as unarmed citizens ended up being killed by those charged with the responsibility to protect them. For clarity, people like Nsamachi Pyoka, Joseph Kaunda, Frank Mugala are among those whose life was cut short by trigger-happy police officers defying the right to life with impunity. Now, with the United Party for National Development, UPND, in office, Republican President Hakainde has affirmed commitment to uphold the rule of law and ensure professionalism in the police service. And to help him achieve that, he made some changes in the police service and appointed Mr. Lemi Kajoba to bring sanity in the sector. Some changes have been seen. For instance, in the past, protests attracted beatings and tear gassing. But now, doctors...
When people want power, they come and campaign different fake campaign promises. Yes. Now it's time to deliver. They say they've been in government for less than 6 months, and yet we've got trips, we've got people with non-essential work has been employed.
Retirees.
When are we going to be paid? And the supplementary budget, when is it going to be approved? Your Excellency.
Teachers.
To our surprise, up to now, we are failing to understand why the Minister of Education is failing to put us on payroll.
Students, among others, have been able to hold protests in peace.
From the school education and other schools have been closed. Why? Because the lecturers are on gospel. They are protesting because of non-payment of salaries and their gratuities. So all we are appealing to is that the government should come on board, pay our lecturers so that learning can proceed as it is supposed to be.
But Patriots for Economic Progress leader TEMBO has charged that nothing has changed.
Police have not really reformed, in fact, for the past 20 or so years. The way the police used to be manipulated and the way they used to serve the interests of the then ruling MMD is the same manner in which the police were manipulated and were serving the interests of the then PF, government. And it's the same way that the police have now been manipulated and have been made to serve the interests of the now ruling UPND administration. So there has been no change whatsoever. And, if you were to ask me what I would attribute that to, my take would be that it is because of the political environment in which they operate. And there is that silent intimidation of the police by the political leadership.
Mr. TEMBO believes that the police is still getting instructions from politicians. He says the head of state must set the tone on which direction he wants the Zambia police to go.
The reforms that need to be made, it should be on the side of the political leadership. It all starts with the president himself, the tone he sets among his ministers, whether it is acceptable for his ministers to intimidate law enforcement agencies or not. Once a president sets that tone, then the ministers will act accordingly, and the law enforcement agencies will respond accordingly. So it all comes down. That's why they say the buck stops with the president. It's all about the acceptable tone which the president wants to set.
Well, democracy is a composition of opinions, and that is the view of Mr. TEMBO. But what is your take on the Zambia police? Patrick Soko, Camnet News in Lusaka.
President Hakainde Thursday afternoon hosted lunch for veteran politicians and gallant freedom fighters, among them Venon Mwanga, Wilted J. Piri, Matthias Ngalande, and Dante Saunders. President Hichilema says the UPND administration is inspired by their wisdom and how vested they are with current affairs. President Hichilema is also impressed with the veterans' passion on the need to unite the country and harness the diversities from different communities and cultures. The head of state also told the veterans of his government's continued efforts to rebuild and reconnect the economy, reunite the people, and ensuring that the rule of law is followed.
Here for, 3 months, 4 months, we spent just understanding where the problems came from, what was tripping the country. I think we now have a full understanding, and I believe you can't solve problems you don't understand.
However, we have to understand
the full understanding, so that's why we focus on dismantling those problems, especially public expenditure, runaway position, which really gripped our country very bad. So we are in the process of also reintroducing our country back in the League of Nations, the UN, SADC, African Union, and European Union, the Arab world. I think we've now done all of that. Now we're busy focusing on projects, programs to open up the economy.
For you to host lunch in our honor, in recognition of the role that a lot of our colleagues, we all played during the struggle for independence. We are representing a lot of colleagues who are in the struggle with us. Most of them are no more, but the few that they are, they live in very distant places. So we are representing all of them.
Indeed.
And to say to you, Mr. President, that we are proud of the work that you are doing.
In other news, some teachers that were deployed in September 2021 awaiting payroll allocation have asked the Anti-Corruption Commission to investigate the Teaching Service Commission for what they term as corruption. Speaking to the media Thursday, the teachers say despite being found amongst the 1,432 teachers that were recruited, they have not yet been put on payroll, wondering how they were left out. The teachers who have reached out to the Teaching Service Commission have not received any tangible feedback, hence suspecting corrupt practices.
We are seeking an appeal to the Teaching Service, the Ministry of Education and the government at large. We need the clearance on which criteria they use to put teachers on payroll, because you find that
the story of teachers complaining of not being put on payroll is not new in Zambia. The country has seen unprecedented peaceful protests coming from the teachers recruited and not put on payroll. September 4th, 2021, the Teaching Service Commission disclosed that they had recruited 1,432 teachers. Today saw a great number from the 1,432 teachers that were recruited and not put on payroll, storming the Anti-Corruption Commission. They took a letter requesting the commission to investigate why some teachers under 2021 net are not yet on payroll.
As black to say the recruitment which was there was corrupt, and why can't you investigate your officers, the ones who were recruiting teachers? Therefore, we are also asking our peers, our minister and all stakeholders to take interest in this matter, to investigate thoroughly what happened and the culprits to be brought to book. We are here at SEC. We've also reported the matter to SEC.
Despite the Teaching Service Commission assuring the public that the recruitment process was professionally and transparently done, the teachers think otherwise.
District, and we have come from very far places, but from September up to date, the Ministry of Education has not put us on payroll. We are just saddened with some statements that are given by other people in the ministry, that is the Teaching Service Commission over-recruited. But what we know, as from the little knowledge that we know, is that the Teaching Service Commission, which is our employer, they sit down with the Ministry of Education to come up with the number of teachers to recruit.
Today saw another group of teachers with the same concerns wanting to seek audience with the Republican president.
Nothing has happened. Every time they're telling us, no, we'll put you on payroll. Every time they're saying, no, we'll put you on payroll. But this time around, we don't want anything. What we want is an official statement to say that they have to put us on payroll this month. We don't want anything else. Mr. President, I kneel down to ask you to see your
Okay, the teacher kneeling down, asking the president to help them.
Yes, we want you to hear our cry, to hear our cry. please hear our cry today.
About 300 teachers that were recruited last year are not yet on payroll. Blessings Chakwila, Camnet News, Lusaka.
The Teaching Service Commission reported to the Anti-Corruption Commission. PEP President Sean TEMBO charges that the police is still unprofessional under the UPND. Those were the headlines. Thank you for watching. I am Precious Mzeya Sakaleji. Good afternoon.